The new NYX Make 'em Wonder foundation has been getting a ton of hype, but is it actually as good as everyone says it is, especially if you have mature skin? I take foundation testing and reviews very seriously. I don't do first impressions. I always test foundations for several days. I think I've done around 350 foundation reviews on this channel so far, maybe even more, but I very rarely do standalone reviews. I usually include several foundations in a foundation roundup video. So you know if I'm doing a standalone review, I have some things to say. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's get into this standalone review of the new NYX Make 'em Wonder foundation. If you're a regular or if you're new, it's great to have you here. Foundation and complexion reviews are staples here on my channel because I'm 50, and as we get older and our skin changes, it just gets harder and harder to find the right products for our skin. So I try to help where I can, and if products don't work for me personally, I share skin types that I think would benefit from those products more. You should know my skin type before we get started. I have combination oily skin that's pretty normal around the perimeter and can even be dry. I'm actually experiencing some dry flakies right now from starting prescription tretinoin fairly recently, but I also get shine breakthrough in the center of my face. So I experience a bit of everything, and I live in a very humid climate here in New Orleans, and it's also hot the majority of the year. Those are very important things when it comes to complexion products. So let's go ahead and get started. This looks like a pretty tiny bottle, but it's actually a full 1 ounce size, which is the standard for foundations. It's a very lightweight, squeezy tube. Nothing squeezes out if I don't squeeze it. I haven't had that experience anyway, and it's really great for travel. It retails for $16. There are 45 shades. I grabbed it in 12 natural, which is described as natural with neutral undertones. If you think you're my foundation or concealer shade twin, I keep a running list of my concealer and foundation shades over on my blog that is linked in most of my description boxes. That way you can always use it as a reference. I'll also have everything I'm sharing and wearing linked there and through YouTube shopping. This is cruelty-free, vegan, alcohol, oil, and fragrance-free, and it's a silicone-based, slightly runny foundation that blends out really nicely in my experience with a brush or a sponge. It sort of fuses with my skin as I apply it in a good way. Because it dries pretty quickly, I initially thought that a brush might leave streaks behind that I would need to tap out with a sponge, but I didn't have that issue. It doesn't dry so quickly that it's not easy to work with. I do prefer blending it out in sections though, versus dotting it all over my face and then blending it out, just like I do with most long wearing or quick setting foundations. Now, if you do have very dry, flaky skin or a lot of surface dehydration, how quickly it sets could be an issue for you, but I had a lot of dry flakiness going on this morning around my nose and my lower face, and I saw it a little bit right after the foundation set down, but after everything kind of settled in together for a bit, everything looked fine. I mean, it looks fine now. I don't notice any flaky areas. It's just working. Editing Stephanie here. I thought I said this during filming, but apparently I didn't. The only time I had any issues with dryness or dry flakes showing was when I applied the foundation with a brush. When I apply it with a damp or a dry sponge, I never have any issues with flakes or dryness showing. So if you do experience that with any foundation, try applying it with a damp or dry sponge instead. I just wanted to throw that in here. It always looks smooth and flawless when I apply it with a sponge. So they claim this is a skincare infused, weightless, buildable foundation that's supposed to look like your skin, but smoother, brighter, and more even toned. And it's supposed to be buildable from no makeup to full glam. And it's also supposed to be transfer and sweat resistant, waterproof, and give you all day shine control. Now, because they specify that it's skincare infused, let's talk about that really quickly. They say it's infused with vitamin C for its brightening power and to make your skin shine, and with hyaluronic acid to give you instant hydration and a non-cakey feel. Now, when you look at the ingredient list, vitamin C is not individually listed. What's listed about 75% down the list is guarana seed extract. That is probably what they were referring to. It has caffeine to reduce puffiness, tighten skin, and improve circulation. I also see vitamin E and hyaluronic acid are the fourth and third to last ingredients in the ingredient list, respectively. So hyaluronic acid is in here, and vitamin E is probably in here to enhance the benefits of vitamin C, but they are really far down the ingredient list. So there is skincare in here, but I wouldn't be focusing on the skincare infused aspects of this foundation. I don't usually do that anyway, but I just wanted to point that out. I don't notice a scent to this when I apply it or after. Sometimes with fragrance-free products, you can pick up on the natural aroma of the ingredients that are included because they don't put fragrance in it to mask it, and I don't pick up on anything. I can easily build this from light to medium full coverage. I have been so impressed with how this evens my skin tone and covers with such a sheer veil of product, and my skin just looks beautiful. It really is skin-like, pore blurring, and flattering on all areas of my skin. I'd say it gives a natural matte finish before I finish my makeup and set my face. There's zero stickiness or tackiness, so if you don't like to use powder, that's great news for you. And after setting my face with powder and finishing my makeup, it gives me a soft matte finish, a true soft, flattering matte finish. Without primer, it continues to look and feel nice throughout the day on all areas of my face. At midday, after my oils have naturally settled in, it turns back into, I would say, a natural matte finish. And in the later hours of the day and the end of the day, I think this clip was taken at about 11 or 12 hours, I have a sheen or kind of a glow to my face, but it's not over the top, and there's no greasiness. It also doesn't feel oily or greasy when I touch my face. It feels lightweight on my face all day, and my makeup still looks good. Now keep in mind, I live in a very humid environment. If you live in a drier environment than I do, or if you have normal dry skin, you may not get any shine at all. Now, if I wear a mattifying primer, or if I do that old trick where you dust a tiny amount of loose translucent powder underneath, I keep that soft matte finish all day that looks natural skin-like and beautiful. I noticed something after filming that I feel needs to be inserted. So it looks like NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation is being discontinued. I don't see anything about a reformulation, and if you're like me and that was one of your favorite full coverage long wear bulletproof foundations with a matte or a soft matte finish, you might be pretty disappointed. I mean, at least they didn't just put this formula in that bottle and call it a reformulation, because it's not really similar. I never recommended Can't Stop Won't Stop for dry or even moderately dry skin. It just wasn't that type of foundation, whereas this is more universal. So I just thought that was kind of relevant and should probably be inserted into this video. So this foundation, several properties of this foundation remind me a lot of Dior Backstage Face and Body before it was reformulated, when I loved it. How the thin texture fuses with your skin as you apply it to look like your skin, how buildable and flattering it is, how it covers so well with such a thin layer, and how it lasts throughout the day. This has been such a pleasant surprise. I keep reaching for it. So yes, I think this is absolutely worth the hype, and it's every bit as good as everyone has been saying it is. I think it's a fantastic drugstore foundation that could work really well across almost, if not all, skin types, even mature skin. My one hesitation or question is really dry or dehydrated skin because of how quickly it sets. But again, it worked really well on my dry areas, on all areas of my face. I really, really love this drugstore launch. I think it's fantastic. Have you tried it? Are you going to? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I hope you found this standalone foundation review helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. I have a foundation roundup coming out very soon, which includes some foundations you've been asking me about, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you want to catch more foundation reviews, you can see them here. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!